Yeah, that's what I like to see. All right. We are now officially live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you have a Facebook page, you can go to Head Nerds in Charge and you can share that Facebook link. Thank you, everybody, for checking in. This is our special, super special. You know, on Fridays, we don't really do anything but rest our feet. Usually our Wednesday 8 to 10 shows where we do our funky thing, but we had something so dope, so hot, so unique, we just couldn't keep it sustained for just one show in a week. So what we're doing is we got a special Friday show for y'all. We got some super dope artists that we're going to debut in a second, but just sit yourselves tight. Make sure to do what you do and share that link. Y'all already know. We need that love, y'all. We need that love. So hit that share button, put it all in the geek groups, because I'm about to put y'all on to something you ain't never seen before. And if you have seen it, then you already know what fire is about to come on the box. So what I need y'all to do is hit that share button, share. Let's get these views up, and let's get this exposure out here. We already know the world going crazy, baby. We're trying to have a little bit of peace, a little bit of fun for an hour or two, and then we get back to kicking, the oppressor's ass. So take that share button. Y'all already know what to do. Drop it in your favorite groups. Share it on your live feeds. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to check the chat. If you got questions, Facebook, y'all already know. I'm monitoring the chat. Twitch, y'all real slow on the uptake. Y'all ain't loving us like I love y'all on Twitch like that. But you know what? For the few heads that do pop up over there, y'all can come over to YouTube or Facebook if y'all want to say a couple things. But other than that, I'll pop into Twitch every so often in case somebody hops on the line. But we're about to debut the show. Just sit tight and we'll be with you shortly.
Yo, this is dope. This is very dope.
Oh, we ain't listen. We about to have a good time tonight.
Oh yeah.
I'm dropping it in all my hip hop groups. Everybody about to get this work.
Smack, is you ready?
Listen. Smack. All right, brothers, I'm about to bring y'all in. So y'all can go ahead on and unmute your line so that everybody can hear you nice and clear.
Do we do the testing?
Let's see. Let me make sure we can see all your pretty faces.
Hey, everybody.
Salute.
Hey, there we go. We are back. Listen, Head Nerds in Charge reached out to Nerds in Hip Hop way back when and got a chance to kind of talk and collaborate, hang out and shoot the shit. And we became really good friends. And it's always amazing to me when you find your own kind.
Definitely.
And I just, everybody who's familiar with what we do here at the Head Nerds in Charge, you know, it's always love. But I just want to give Nerds of Hip Hop a quick opportunity to kind of let everybody know what it is they do, coming all the way from Cali. Let them know, good brother. Introduce yourself.
First and foremost, like I said, it's always a pleasure with you, Kurt, man. I promise you, man. I reached out to these cats a minute ago. They showed me nothing but love, man. It was a little sketchy when I first started. I was worried about, like, yo, man, who's gonna kind of show love, man? Like, as soon as I reached out to them, bro, it was like he was a cousin I never knew I had.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we go lead in with that. But with Nerds in Hip Hop, man, our whole core goal is to inject positivity and love back into the hip hop game, man, throwing it through nerd culture, because there is so much acceptance in nerd culture, man. And I feel like the two of these things combined, we're bridging the gap Like, and so we're bridging the gap between them because the two of these things combined. You know what I mean? If you can make these two cultures agree just a little bit to love some shit unapologetically, bruh, we're doing something. So the whole foundation of it is love and unity. So that's the main thing with Nerds in Hip Hop.
So now, when you have Nerds in Hip Hop, I don't know if y'all know this, but nerds be in hip hop. I mean, if you look at the history of hip hop, that's the reason why Big Punisher is called Big Punisher. He ain't just come with that off the top of his head. He got that from Frank Castle. If you love the Wu-Tang, they love kung fu movies. That's where they started. That's a nerddom. If you're not hip to it, that's a whole fandom. And I mean, you know, my man Tony Stark, Ghostface Killer, one of my favorites, personal favorites. But we're not. Well, you know, this ain't about me tonight. We have, without a doubt, some of the most amazing artists in nerd culture that I have personally come across. We're gonna go one by one and let them introduce themselves because I feel like I can't really do them brothers justice. But we're gonna lead off with first somebody who I just recently got introduced to, which is Clutch. And we got my boy Clutch on the line. What it do, Clutch?
What's going on, man? How you doing? How's everything? I'm chilling. Plus your boy Wanda, 6 Robin.
What's good, baby?
Chilling out here.
Listen,
man.
what's up? No, because you from Harlem.
Yes, sir. Harlem, baby, Bronx raised me.
So, because you know, New York, the birthplace of hip hop as is, and you definitely have one of the most unique styles that I've come across, and the energy and the flow is crazy. If you could just take a few minutes to introduce yourselves to our fans so they can get a gist of what you do.
All right. My name is Clutch, you know, Clutch Boy Wonder. You know, I'm supposed to be the 6th Robin. I'm a lyricist and I'm an animator, man. From, like I said before, Harlem baby, Bronx raised me. I'm a super nerd into this shit. Like I love comics, I love anime, like I love all this type of shit. But my inspirations come from, like, you know, Batman and Robin, and like, yeah, man, I do like a lot of my shit. I was a DIY kind of guy, man. You know, I had to learn everything on my own, and like I got a lot of energy. Like that's always been in me. Like, you know, there's a lot of shit that I've been through personally and whatnot.
Right.
But I just always wanted to keep going. Like I just feel like I was meant for this. I was destined for this. And like no matter how many times I failed, I just got back up and kept it going. It's just like the flow and everything. As for that, I really do appreciate that. It just comes from like the passion in me, man. Like that's the best way I could describe it. Like I'm hungry. I want this shit. There's so many people I got to take care of. Like there's people that roll the dice on me that like have no proof on why they should, and it's just like I can't fail them. I got too much riding on me.
I like that. You got too many people riding on you. Listen, bro. I totally understand that, and I thank you for being on the show today. We're actually going to get more in depth with some of, you know, because I need to know you're a New York boy, but you got dreams and nightmares on that. I need to know what that. I need to know what that's about. That's a whole Philly, but we'll talk. I ain't gonna grind you up, but we
gonna talk. We gotta share with the next.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have everybody up on here. So it's just like, yeah, we definitely gonna talk. I'm glad that you took the time to listen. I'm glad to be here, for real. I'm really glad to be here.
Listen, I'm a big hip hop fan, so I've literally gone through as much as I could. I even found some stuff that y'all didn't send me. General Vega, Vega, I'm gonna get to you. You already know. We talk for plus hours. Hieroglyphics. Man, man, you have one of the more unique stories that was kind of amazing to kind of see with some of the things that you've done. You've had songs with Styles P. You were at the BET Awards. You did the after party show. I just want to know, how did you get your start? Glyph still on there?
Oh, well, you guys.
There
you guys good now? We good?
Yeah, you froze up on us a little bit, but we good. We back.
All right, cool.
So how? Yeah. So how did you get your start?
Man, my brother and I started doing music together back in 2011. You know, we had this little hip hop group called Concepts, and you know, we pretty much started doing the same format that most groups and most artists do. You know what I mean? Shows, recording, putting music out, hoping for the best. You know what I mean? And luckily for us, you know, we were blessed enough to do a lot of major things within the music industry. You know what I mean? Whether it be meeting people, performing all over the world. And just, you know, putting out really good content, you know what I mean? And then it just dawned on us recently that, you know, my brother, you know, took a more liking to making beats, and, you know, I really just kept focusing on the pen game and stuff like that. So, you know, I kind of found my own little niche doing the superhero stuff, the nerdcore rap stuff, maybe about like 2 or 3 years into us doing music together. And we kind of just finally ran with it, and it worked in our favor. So the rest is history from there, man. Like, you know, I like Clutch said, like, I love this superhero anime stuff. Like, it's my life. You know what I mean? It reflects who I am as a person. And I'm just glad to do what I do. And I'm glad people like what I do. You know what I mean? Because like we were talking a little bit before, like, you know, it's trial and error doing this music stuff. And when you finally find something that works for you, it makes it all the better. You know what I mean? Like, and then you finally, you know, start meeting people that do the things you do. And then it's like, I'm not alone. Yeah,
it's like finding somebody in the same fandom. Like, wait a minute, you ain't watch Avatar either? We watching it together at the same. I'm just watching Avatar. That's why I keep saying that. That's I'm definitely late on the uptake. By the way, Anger's a beast. Really? Stop, Randy. Randy, stop, bro. Anger's a beast. I'm just.
Yo, he's a monster, right?
He's a savage, and I'm only on season. Look, see, we about to nerd out.
He's the most savage 10-year-old ever. He's like, oh wait.
Don't see how nerds do. We don't. He said Ang, and I was like, F this show. Let's talk about Avatar. But yo, I definitely have some more questions for you later, because especially what I thought was dope was your visuals. Your visuals are so clean, bro. Thank you. And your final product is as professional as I have seen from an independent artist. So I know you're going to be a great gem for anybody who's looking to put their music out and knowing what the industry is looking for to be able to compete. But we're going to get back to you.
Thank you, man.
Crazy 8.
What up?
Now, see, I almost got to turn it over to my boy Nerds in Hip Hop, because y'all just did an interview.
Fact,
I was there for that. Y'all just took it over. So listen. I'm about to throw the alley-oop to Nerds in Hip Hop, and go ahead on, man. You can do it better justice than me. I'm gonna sit back and sip this beer.
Yo. So I mean, it's hard to try to do an interview after Kirk, because, you know what I'm saying, he got that super live energy. But I'm gonna do my best real quick. All right. So. You already know me, Crazy 8, my boy, you know what I'm saying? We vibe, you know what I mean? Talk about a lot of things, man. But this dude has credentials 4 days also, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm going to have him go ahead and run us through a few of them credentials, man, before you go ahead and tell us how you got on, bro.
So, all right, Crazy 8 the Great, Cleveland, Ohio, comic book superhero, rap nerd extraordinaire. 7-time award winner here in the state of Ohio. For Best Live Performer and Lyricist of the Year. I won first place Coast to Coast Hip Hop Industry Mixer in Toronto, Canada. I'm currently the reigning Jack Daniels Jacking for Beats Freestyle Champion. I done did some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I got the co-sign from King Crooked from Slaughterhouse. Got to open up for a lot of the Slaughterhouse members. Got to meet and rap for Biz Marquee back at the House of Blues here at home and shit. That's so you know, I've been at it for quite some time, man, and I've been able to do some pretty dope shit, man.
I've done a thing. That's the one thing that he said before that I've been saying ever since. He be like, I've done a thing. Like, I don't know what that is, but I like it.
Yo, you know what's crazy? So I was supposed to have my boy 2 Bars. He's a hip hop blogger here in the city of Philadelphia. Him and Royce the 5'9" and all them dudes, they go back. And when I read your bio, I was like, yo, 2, you got to get on this. I was like, yo, I was because at first, because sometimes people hear independent and they discredit the talent.
Right.
And I find that to be willfully unfortunate because everybody's independent till they get put on.
Right.
Keeping it a bean, the talent's always there unless they manufacture, but we ain't gonna hate on nobody out here. I'm just saying, some cats are manufactured, but the talent level in this group is crazy, and even what you've been able to attain for yourself, basically doing it from scratch.
Yeah.
Now, am I right or wrong? Crazy?
No, it's tough building it literally from the first brick to making it a building. You know what I'm saying? So we still in the process of making it a building. I got like, you know, a couple quarter walls up, but you know, we gonna get there.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got an album that we're gonna talk about, right?
Oh man, the album, yeah, it's on the way, man. It's on the way. I'm proud of this joint.
All right, well, put it in your holster because we got a lot of show, and we definitely gonna get into everybody's album, and I'm definitely intrigued to see exactly what the direction is going, especially with you being such a huge advocate for anti-bullying, and I think that's a major thing, especially in our community.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. Here, I don't call too many people general. You know, that's you know, you got to kind of earn a title around me. And now, of course, I'm the same nigga with the name King. So, you know, feel how you want about it. But General Vega, I came across your video, and honestly, you inspired, and you inspired this show because I saw the same video that I put in the promo. And when you just went ham,
you really did
in the pitch black with Christmas lights up.
You really did go hard on that.
I was like, "Who this?"
Vega.
Yo,
salute.
So to everybody who saw the promo, who's on our lives, everybody, listen. I know. Look, drop your questions in the chat. I'm gonna get to them. But General Vega. Who that? Who? Tell us about you. Where in the world did you come from?
I don't deserve it. I don't deserve the introduction. And first and foremost, salute to you, salute the nerds in hip hop, salute to all the MCs.
Facts.
All the MCs, because these are MCs, these aren't rappers. I heard all of y'all. And salute to you because you inspire me. It's I don't have ego. I deal in skill, and everyone in this chat room has skill. And I'm very fortunate to be amongst you because I'm relatively new. You understand? So, where did General Vega come from? I come from Space Mountain, man.
I thought you was gonna say parts unknown.
I come from Space Mountain. Woo!
Listen, don't get me started, because if you start saying I'm a Rolex wearing,
hey, listen,
diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheelie dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. I'm sorry, y'all. That was a Ric Flair moment.
Oh yeah,
wrestling nerds. Look, I just want to be Vega tag team partner. I think we should. I think we can take the belts.
Yo,
I got the belt. I got the red belt here. All right, so,
but go ahead. Come on, Space Mountain.
All right. So long story short, I just felt like I didn't know these other MCs that I'm seeing here.
Right.
So I wanted there to be an alternative. And, you know, due to my background, I could have went a different direction in terms of content because what I used to do for a living. Now, with that being said, you know, I just wanted to show that there was skill, but not talk about everything that everybody else was talking about. I didn't want to talk about violence or what we doing to women or what we doing to each other. You know, and I've always been a fan of Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask, GoBots.
Hey Randy, he talk about our childhood, bro.
Mask right there. Well done, sir. Well done.
So with that being said, and I'm a movie guy, major movie.
That's
all
cool.
all I listen to is 80s rock. I don't listen to hip hop unless it's I only listen to like pre-98. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I get ready to write, I listen to Pat Benatar. I listen to Phil Collins. That's what I listen to. Or I go watch Clockwork Orange. That gets me ready to write. You know what I mean? So ultimately, that's what fuels me. You know what I mean? And so, right. I mean, for those that don't know, for many years, I was a professional bodyguard for 3 platinum selling artists. And, you know, that's partially why I wear my get up, because I didn't want to get the alley-oop. I wanted to do stuff on my own merit. You know what I mean? I didn't want to come out and be like, I mean, well, now we're on the show, but I didn't want to be like, I was Young Jeezy's bodyguard for 3 years.
You know I was gonna put that out there regardless, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, ain't gonna be no clandestine mess up in here.
Like, now I gotta take the mask off. Now.
No, listen, I don't want that problem.
But you know, if I'd have came out and say, yo, I was B.O.B.'s bodyguard. I've been to every country. I've been to every nightclub in America 30 times. And if I rapped about pulling a gun, if I rapped about beating people up, that's real. It's not, I mean, it's something that really was part of my life. Right. But how easy is that? So I wanted to go a different direction, because I feel if you have a platform, then that platform should be used for something other than negativity. So I went a totally different direction. And I said, you know what? If you have skill, you can rhyme about anything, and you can make it matter. You know what I mean? And my thing was, I'm General Vega, the leader of the Geek Mob. And what the Geek Mob is a group of like-minded people that are all races, all ages. And people say, how do I get in the Geek Mob? I say, if you inquire about how to get in, you're already in. That's pretty much my requirement. You know, and you know, that's pretty much, I don't want to take up too much time, but that's pretty much what
don't worry, Vega. Listen, we got a whole Geek Mob section that we gonna get into. Because honestly, some of the things that you talked about, like how you didn't get into music, Clutch, he didn't even like rap originally. He was in the Paramore and Green Day. That's right, Negro. I read your bio. Oh, yeah. Listen. This real journalism over here. And crazy. And look, Crazy can't talk, because when you talked about turning a song into anything, this brother did a whole song about Ultra Instinct, and the beat was fire. So I mean, we gonna listen for everybody. We gonna round it out, because I want to get to my now. This brother. Man, I can't. Accolades is too simple of a word. Honestly, there's not a dictionary in this system to truly convey how I feel about this brother. I would try to talk in Ferengi or whatever them. I'm not a Star Trek fan. What's the other one? What's the one with the meat on the head? The Joe on the dangling. The batter. Come on, Randy.
Klingons?
Thank you. I knew you would know. Yeah. I don't speak Klingon, but I'm a Star Wars fan. You know, I like to hate on y'all Trekkies. I also like to hate on Superman, but
that's fine. I hate on Superman too.
I feel like everyone hates on Superman.
Don't be like Randy. Don't leave, Randy. Don't leave. Randy, don't do that. Don't do that. Come back. Come on. Oh, this Negro here. You see how he
listen. I love Superman, but he is the most hated though, because he's the first.
Listen, he's broken.
And
I can deal with Flash.
He's hated. Get recognized. I mean, think about it though. When someone's the first, they got to make him OP so we can last forever.
Keep in mind, this conversation is not happening. This conversation is not happening without Superman. Keep that in mind.
Too.
No. And I was just about to say,
conversation ain't happening without Batman.
Batman's not happening without Superman.
I can't wait till we get into this.
Trust me, we're gonna get into nerddoms. But I just want to say to you, I just want to say to you, Randy, you are the most knowledgeable person I've ever had the interaction with that not only spits positivity, but you really do. You know how every culture needs like that sage, that everybody needs a Yoda, right? Everybody needs a Professor X, Magneto, if you type of Negro, I am. But
now you're being silly.
No, see, don't start. Don't because Randy, you literally have guided so many that have come into amalgam and really made an ostracized group feel welcome.
You know, it's funny. I've been doing this so long. And one of the great benefits of being relatively large is that I never got that, right? So when I was coming up here in Philly, I was, you know, comic books and D&D and all that stuff, and never really heard word one about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I went to Penn State. I found my comic book store there. I found my people up there. I came back here. I was in Delaware. I found my people there. You know what I'm saying? When Black Tribbles was created.
Could you tell them what Black Tribbles are for anybody that might not be aware?
Black Tribbles is a radio show and podcast that I've been a part of since 2011. Philly based. Shout out to Bat Tribble, Storm Tribble, Spider Tribble, Master Tribble, Uncanny Tribble, the Super Saiyan Tribble, Dark Joker Zen Tribble, my whole team, my whole family. We put the show together. We've been doing it for 9 years now. Thursday nights, 9 to 11. We're on Philly Cam now. And, you know, the whole deal, the whole idea has been, you know, for a lot of us, you guys are right. It wasn't there. Right. Even if it was there, we didn't even know about it, right?
Right.
So having been in it for all this time, I feel like it's my job to sort of reach back and be like, yo, this is here for you, man. Like, don't let nobody sweat you about that. This is what we do. Right. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that really got me, that made me feel so good was Last Emperor's song Secret Wars, right? Mm-hmm. When Secret Wars came out, I was up at Penn State hanging out with a bunch of my boys. We listened to the track. My man had recorded it off a Stretch and Bobbito show. And the whole room, about 20 of us in the room, and nobody could move. We was like, what is this? What is he doing? Like, just the idea of a hip hop and Marvel Comics battle, just conceptually was just like, nobody was doing that, right? And he did it on such a level, and he did the voices and everything, and it was just like, who the heck is this guy, right? Right. So to be able to, you know, I did a track with him a couple years after that, and it blew my. I'm like, this is not a thing. There's no way I'm doing this record with this guy, right? This is not happening. And we went comic book shopping after we shot the record. After we recorded the record, we were up in New York, and we went to Midtown Comics. It was like, this is actually happening. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm out here doing my thing and doing the thing with Gangsta Grass, and you know, putting these things in, I just wanted to put it just little bits into people, right? Just a little bit in the verse so they know that they hear, right? So when I'm talking about battling Kardashians and they're like, what? You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about just, you know, just whatever little stuff that comes out in the verse, even if it's not a whole song, but there's that little bit in the verse.
But you give them a taste of it.
Yeah. I want people to know that, you know, this is not just, you know, it's not just a bunch of nerds. You're all in this. Whether you know it or not, you're all in this.
Yeah, because nerd culture is basically popular culture now. But exactly. I want to touch on something that you said. You said Gangsta Grass. Now, you're not going to just gloss over that because of everybody on the panel. I think you're the only one to reach the top of Billboard, right?
Number two.
Number two. Y'all, I knew you was up there though. I knew you almost got him. You had me listening to Bluegrass trying to get y'all there.
For those that don't know, Gangsta Grass is the world's greatest bluegrass hip hop band.
Facts.
Myself, my partner Dolio the Sleuth, our banjo player Dan Whitener, our current fiddle player Brian Farrow, and the producer, beat maker, guitar player, lead singer, and mastermind of the whole thing, my homie Wrench. Plus
you got to go back. You can't gloss over that. You said what's the two genres?
Bluegrass and hip hop.
Did y'all hear that? Bluegrass.
Imagine like wherever you get a sample from, right? If you got a dope violin sample, Imagine you just got a bull playing that. You know what I'm saying? You got a dope guitar sample. I got a guy playing that. I got a guy playing the banjo on all of our joints because, you know, my man Wrench that put the whole thing together, his idea was his dad's from Oklahoma. So he came up, you know, with a lot of country music in his existence. So when he decided to make this whole thing work, those were his influences, right? And so we put it all together and, you know, take as much of the reality and truth and life that exists in hip hop culture and a lot of those same things that exist in bluegrass culture and just make music with it. You know what I'm saying? Because what a lot of people don't know is that the similarities are way more, there's way more similarities than there are differences. You know what I'm saying? So all the fellas are talking about how, you know, there's not a lot of violence in their music, which is dope. And we all know there's a lot of violence in hip hop music, right? And that's why people are like, well, I don't like that rap stuff. There's too much violence in it. Listen, bluegrass has an entire subgenre called murder ballads. And they're all songs about people that killed somebody and threw their body in a river or killed their wife or killed their husband or killed everybody.
Bro, like, I always laugh that Hey Joe is about shooting your wife.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole thing. And so, you know, once you get people past the idea of what they think hip hop culture is and the things that they deny bluegrass is, and you just put them together in the level of quality that we do, then all you can just say is it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Fonte said it. Dope beats, dope rhymes. What more do y'all want? And that's what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even lying.
Salute.
This bunch of jokers right here, I was bumping all of y'all stuff last night. I'm out of hands. Y'all brothers was.
Listen, yeah. As far as and you know, I'm very critical. I like what I like. And I'm not here to hate on anybody because I much like me, I'm old school hip hop. I'm old school R&B and oldies. So, you know, my hip hop was always old school underlays. You know, Biggie, they sampled everything that was popping in the 70s and the 80s. You get me? Mm-hmm. So when I hear samples of GEEK music, I laugh because you pull me in. You got me. Like I want to go to Crazy 8 with Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Bro, that track is bananas. Where did you come up with that?
So when Dragon Ball Super ended in March of that year, which was I think 2018, I was sad because I just got excited about Dragon Ball being back, and then it got cut. I mean, just despite like, you know, all the animation fumbles and a lot of shit that happened during the series, I wasn't ready for it to end. And at that time, I didn't know that Dragon Ball Super Broly was going to be like a big Dragon Ball movie later. So I just wanted something for the fans to listen to. So I was like, as a person in a Dragon Ball fandom, I was like, I'm making this for us, by us, type of situation. And I sent it to I sent the sample to a couple of producers. The first two producers, it just kind of wasn't cutting it. And I should have asked my best friend, since we've been working together since 2014. I should have just asked him from jump. So I asked him, I sent him the sample. He called me like the next day and was like, I don't know if you're gonna like this, bro. I was like, man, just send the damn beat. So he sent it. He sent it in the email, and it was the first time that somebody sent me a beat that I heard in my head without having to say nothing to him.
Facts. And he had that synergy.
Yeah, it was insane. Like everything about the song was exactly how I mapped it out in my head before we even got to, like, you know what I'm saying, before I got to writing the lyrics and shit. I just took it and ran with it. And the crazy part about it is the day that the song came out, it was supposed to come out at like 1 p.m. At 12:30, everybody at the job I was working at was getting laid off. So pretty much as I'm about to press send on the song, we had this like whole mandatory staff meeting, and everybody's like, yeah, so we decided that we don't need anybody in this facility anymore. You guys have a good day. And that was just pretty much it. So I'm sitting there like, okay, so I guess this is what I'm doing. So I press send on the song, and kind of the rest is history, man. We got so many streams on that. It's the highest rated song on my SoundCloud to date. Like I think it's like 50K plus, and that's I remember struggling to get like 50 plays. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Dragon Ball, man. Saved my life.
If possible, if it's okay, can I play it for the people real quick?
Sure, of course.
Let's play it. For those who might not have heard it, we're going to play you a quick cut of Ultra Instinct.
This that Super Saiyan nerd guy flow, nigga. Look, yes, on this instrumental album, show you who's the best in this tournament of power. Now 1-1 force rumbling the cowards. If I had to put it plain, it is crumbling the towers. Wowzers, feel like I've been holding back for hours, but you couldn't keep me cooped if you was kicking it with Bowser. I'm raising the intensity, potentially 1,000, and when I'm about to kick it, have you shitting in your trousers? Face it, lyrics when I pin them to the pages, embedded so deep, demons and no can erase it. Dream by any means, if you occupy the space, picture Martin King and Malcolm in the middle of a spaceship. Wait, just in. The Grand Priest told Weez like, sheesh, I ain't know this little mortal was a beast. Niggas barely live a scratch, but it did made a crease. When it comes to combat, niggas really can't compete. Cause my punches is liquor, ain't chasing no bitches. I'm drunken with power, they looking suspicious. I swear this Corona's my drink of destruction. I'm telling you, choppers, this beer is delicious. Get it? I'm just playing with the name fun, same fun. That'll give me caught when it ain't none. Stop it, wanna get it poppin', nigga, go aim when you up against the Guardian. I hope you got a James Gunn. Think it's
Woo! Man! What?
Listen. Oh, clear his throat on that one.
listen. I got. Let me cool the mics off. That was just a sample, y'all.
Appreciate it.
I can't even give y'all the whole thing because y'all need to go ahead on and go right on iTunes, y'all. Stop playing. Hop right on iTunes and go and support Crazy 8 because that I can see why it was the most streamed one. That thing is fire.
Yeah,
super fire.
The first single off the upcoming album, man. Like I'm 2 years in the making, man. I'm happy.
So I'm gonna kind of throw it to Clutch right now because I got questions.
Oh boy, I probably got the answers.
Wait, Green Day and Paramore. That's a eclectic. But now, mind you, I was a kid who enjoyed POD, Stain, Korn. So I'm there with you. And even like General Vega was saying, like Pat Benatar, I grew up old school. Me and General about the same age. I think I heard in one of the raps you said 82. So if you're 82, you right there with me. Yeah, Bro, I've been digesting y'all stuff all day, but I just want to know how do you make that transition from this hip hop's not my thing to this is what I want to do with my life?
Okay, so that I ain't gonna lie, that's a great question. Like, for real. Basically, I was all over the place, like in terms of like I was like I used to skateboard, like with like a bunch of like my Mexican friends around the block and shit like that. Like I used to play football, handball. I used to do mad shit. Like, and I was like, I always wrote like, because like I said, I've been through like unimaginable shit. And like in my household, I never really had a voice. It was always like, there was always some masculinity I had to, I had to like expectations I had to meet, and
gotcha.
I was a person like I didn't have no father figure in my life really until like much later. But like most of my childhood, like it was mainly I was around females, and like I had my big bro and shit like that. But he was out in the street doing what he had to do, and because he was forced to grow up faster. So like I wrote like it was this one time in like elementary, I'll never forget. My teacher, Mr. Lit, I'll never forget. He was like, he told everybody to write a poem. He was getting to English, write a poem, and he was I wrote a poem because I was really feeling all types of ways when I went to school that day. And then I just wrote about my mom. Like I wrote about my mom, the conditions of living here. Like, you know, like I'm like, yo, why I don't get to see her? She not knowing that she's out there doing drugs, and I'm like, my aunt doing she the best she can. And it's just like I basically put that into a poem, and then my fucking teacher called my aunt and she was like, yo, you need to come down here. She called her and she was like, we want him to enter like a poetry competition, but you know he's kind of young, so we needed your permission. Did you know he wrote this? She was like, no. She gave me permission. Then like the principal ended up sending me to school, like in the regent's office down somewhere. And I had to be a judge for a whole bunch of people. And then from there, I just started to write, man. Like I started to write poetry. And like for a while, like I had many different inspirations. And eventually I got into like hip hop. Like when I got into hip hop, I say type late when I was 18, when I got to college, like ex broke up and shit like that. I had a rapper like Favorite D Pride or whatnot. And then I really got into it when I started to listen to J. Cole in my college, man. Like, Cole hit me different. Like, that conscious shit and his resilience to like, yo, I'm gonna say it this way. Fuck the system, fuck the game. Like, all black people count. Like, he just stands for so much shit. And like, I feel like he understands like the household conditions and like, seeing like the domestic violence in your house and like you younger and your brothers, like, you know, your older brother is there, like he's to like, you know, he's forced to grow up faster than he's supposed to. He was able to translate that for me, man, and it just hit me different. So after
it's
when
something when it hit different, right?
Yeah, like it hit me different, man. And like I said, I'm a real emotional person. So when I hear some shit, if it hit me, like I have no problem crying and like none of that. Like that's where a lot of my music come from. And I translate it. Like if you hear like a lot of my music, I try to get on like a lot of now I found my sound. My shit is like Meek Mill intro type beats. I really don't do choruses. Like my shit is like, hey, yo, I got shit.
Wait, hold on. Can I actually play some of your stuff?
Yo,
is that all right?
Please.
All right. So I know you took a hiatus. And I was like, I want to hear this John First Day Back. I wanted to hear the track First Day Back. So that's what I want to play for the people real quick, and then we gonna come right back. But this is Clutch's First Day Back.
October 5th, on me today, I never forget. I was already about to be back on my bullshit, grinding, doing what I had to do. So mom called me over and turned on the news. We both stared in silence. That was the night her son, my brother, took a life and paid the ultimate price. Watching and crying and shocked. My brain wasn't wired, it was in a state of denial. That's why I write as if my life is on the line. Cause it's path to get out the hood is hard to find. Niggas think I'm passive till I gotta show that action. Watching static, they can't keep up with this rapping. I'm a loaded nigga with no fear. Solid as snake with that metal gear. I'm ready for combat, nigga, take this spear. Get over here, grit my teeth beyond angry. When the 6 feet is bad as I wanna breathe. This is a different kind of hero. The flow, colder than Sub-Zero. It actually causes bad casualties. We finish them up drastically and we call that a fatality. And I ain't got 100 guns or 100 clips, but I can still rule New York with an iron fist. I'm that man without fear, moving through the hood swift. I'm on my Daredevil shit. You know, a hero that keep a hit list. And I can feel the adrenaline kicking in. It's my time and I'm finally coming off the bench. They said I wasn't a starter, so I just worked harder. I bust my ass for this shit. Ain't even good as it gets. I'm too sick and wicked with it. My pen sharp like army Swiss, and I'm back on my drive. Had to kick a couple niggas out my ride. Roll with the windows low. Wait till them niggas goodbye. These new niggas that be rapping, yeah, niggas be gassing. Yeah, killing the joke, and I done fucking had it. Time to catch a body, but a career in the gas. Suffocated flow, ain't no aid gas. I don't wanna do no features, which I
listen. Let me. I didn't mean to take y'all out the groove. You saw everybody head was really on that head bob, bro.
Yeah, New York. Definitely dope.
That's one of the most unique people I ever heard.
Bro, your flow is so unique. Like, and I know you got to hear that a lot. And people say that when they don't really know how to compliment somebody. You know what I mean?
All the
Like
time.
Nerds, what did you think when you first heard Nerds in Hip Hop? What did you think when you first heard him?
I'm gonna say like the passion in it, man. Like coming from a background of MC and myself, man, it's the passion in his voice that it's like you feel it every bar. Like some people try to make every bar make sense, like you know, saying with like metaphors, all that stuff like that. But then there's certain people like Pop that you felt it because of the passion in their voice. Like when he said pain, you can hear that passion. Like I mean, the same thing, you know, saying with my boy Clutch, you can hear it. You can hear the passion.
Appreciate that, my brother.
Yo, I always love somebody who can articulate in a rhythmic flow. That's one of the reasons why I like Randy, but our son for everybody that's on the line. But I love that if you could change your pace up, you change your pace up throughout the whole song. You give me high energy and then you slow me down. I never know what to do. I don't know whether to be hype or cry. I be ready to smack niggas and be in my feelings at the same time. So no, seriously, Clutch, I salute you on your uniqueness and your individuality. And for anybody who wants to hear more of not only that track, but more of his music, number one, I'm going to send you all the links. I don't have my producer on with me right now to be able to drop the links in the chat, but trust and believe me, for everybody in the chat, I'm going to take little breaks while these brothers are kind of talking about their art to make sure to drop the links in the chat so that y'all can not only go follow, but follow up on this music. Because I told y'all, we was only going to bring you fire. We was only going to bring you fire. So I'm going to kick it back over to Nerds in Hip Hop to go ahead on. And I don't want to bombard everybody with my questions because I got a bunch of them.
Yo. So I mean, for me, man, like I said, it's being on this panel. You know what I mean? This Nerds in Hip Hop Summit with these fellas, man, including Kurt. Like it's just an amazing thing because we see in hip hop the whole essence of hip hop, where it's going. It's worldwide now. You got people all over the country, all over different countries making music. But like, you know what I mean, just me peeping it, I'm seeing how Nerdcore is going to do a thing, man. It's going to definitely do a thing. And we're gonna start. I want to start by talking about a little bit with AMVs, man, because AMVs are so amazing to me, man. Like, and just for those of you guys that do AMVs, like Hyro, I'll start with you, man. Like where do you guys' mind be when you guys do these AMVs to try to match it to your music? What is that for y'all?
Well, for those that don't know, the type of nerdcore rap that I do is I do third person. So it's like I do it in the sense where I'm the character that I'm talking about, and then I try to I pretty much, the main goal is to, like, if you aren't into the stuff that I'm talking about, I'm gonna get you interested in it based off the little facts and the little like things that I rap about. You know what I mean? So it's like if you aren't familiar with Hunter x Hunter or Batman or Superman, and you hear how I rap it, you're gonna be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should pick up a comic real quick. You know what I mean? So when I drop the AMVs, I try to choose scenes from certain shows or movies that these dudes did, so we can further get them interested in the character that I'm rapping about. You know what I mean? So like, for example, I think the one that he used for the promo video, I was rapping about my dude Riku in Mob Psycho 100. He's a teleporter. He's all over the place. So it's like, I don't want to just talk about how he can do that. I want you to see it so you can be like, damn, this dude really is nice. Like, he's not like sugarcoating this shit. Like, this dude's ill. So it's like, at that point, you're like, let me check this show out. You know what I mean? So like, I kind of like try to correlate it to in a way where it just works and it just meshes really well. You know what I mean?
It really does. It definitely does, man. That's one of the things that I'm taking from, like, listen, I was like, yo, he's rapping from the perspective of the character. I'm like, yo, that's mad talent. And to bring that to a segue even to like general, like, you know what I'm saying? When I heard the track that he gave me, like, you know what I mean, the AMV that he gave me, man, that was my introduction to them. I was just like, whoa. I was like, who is this dude? Like, and I was like, yo, I'm already following him, so I must have seen it. I was like, but Jesus, like, so I mean, tell us also, gentlemen, some of your stuff, man, like how you got into that also, because it was amazing.
Well, I mean, it was the thing of, I like old school stuff like Ninja Scroll, Robotech, you know, Cowboy Bebop, you know,
Yeah, Cowboy
Akira,
Bebop.
Classics.
Fist of the
Yeah,
North Star.
classics.
I'm into all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So ultimately, when I did the rhyme, it was supposed to be on a joint with this artist named Four Eyes. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, ultimately, it kind of fell apart. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I'm going to take my verse and just do something with it. So I just happened to be watching Cowboy Bebop, and I'm like, yo, this is fast paced, it's moving, and I just Frankensteined it. I just put it together. It wasn't some Jedi mind trick. It was just, it fit. And so when I put it together and I put it out, and how the flow was with the action, it just fit. It was just it was just a hand in a glove. You understand? You know, so I mean, ultimately, you know, it just happened by chance. I'm not gonna say, yeah, I've been watching anime for 90 years and I know the recipe. I'm not that well versed. You know what I mean? But you know, it just fit well for me. And thank you for listening. I appreciate you even listening to my stuff. It means a lot.
Yo,
listen, real quick, if possible, when we were talking about, you know, how we blend geek and nerd culture, Hieroglyph got a song that was kind of near and dear to my heart. Number one, it's called Brawley. Number two, he had the audacity, the sheer audacity to go ahead on Roddy Ricch beat. And it's so fire. I just want to ask, is it okay? Can I play the cut for him?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right. So this is Hieroglyphics, Brawley.
Pulling up, singing on the new thread. Dragon Ball Super peep the new threads. They were so scared of the saying that they started crying, pissing in their pants out of shoes wet. They got to send me away. I was too strong, too strong. Insecurities got in the way. They were straight pussy, need a new thong. They tried to bring me down, but I'm too ill. If I train, I'll wear a crown. I'm the new Bills. There's a bounty going round. Yeah, it's 2 mil. Lay you out, you'll hit the ground. Yeah, you will. Legendary Super Saiyan, I'm a bunch of names. Dirty laundry, come test and you'll get bought. Had to fight Goku with Vegeta to his stalemate. I almost got destroyed, would have been a loss. Movie power levels, how you living tall. Chillin' on planets, hanging in the rich law. Yeah, get lost and you'll get taught. Keep talking shit, I'll bury you, you'll get squashed. Get squashed, get crossed and betrayed by your nigga, get slayed. Been fighting press, it's been a long day. I'm the truth, I don't care what you say. Natural prodigy, you better run away. I gotta hit on me 100K. Do you still wanna challenge me? Let's play. Your girl crying, come on, baby, just stay. That's brawling, you don't wanna scrap or you pay. Okay.
Woo, boy! Listen,
That shit was
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. All right. You know what?
I got to cool off the mics.
I'm leaving.
Randy said, I don't even want, I can't do it. Y'all done made the OG be like, you know what, let me leave this to these young brothers.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna need that.
Fire. That was hot, bro. That was
Yo.
And I appreciate that.
Dragon Ball fan, that's fire.
Yo, everything in it makes me, if I didn't see the Brawley movie, I now want to. And then, but no, you know, okay, so I have to ask. Now, you were actually a part of a hip hop duo, like you said, your brother, which was Concepts, right? Am I saying that right?
Yes, correct.
Now, your brother is now the subsequent producer, so he makes the music, and you're the lead MC. Well, you're the only MC of the group right now, right?
Correct.
How do you take on that weight of now being the voice of Concepts?
It's crazy, man. Like, even when the group first started, as the years were transpiring, my brother was saying, like, yo, man, you're getting really good. Like, I might leave this up to you one day. And I used to think he was joking when he say that. And I'd be like, nah, man, like, we doing this together. Like, we're brothers. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So like when he told me and was just like really firm and stringent upon it, like, nah, look, dude, I'm not rapping no more. I'm making the beats. I was like, wow, it's like, it's kind of like one of those like ultimatums where it's like I could either be like, all right, fuck it, I'm not doing it, or I have to be, you know what I mean, the dude. So
and that's still
like,
big bro. So you gonna do it?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So but what really helped was that since I am going to be the only rapper, it's like I get to choose what I'm going to rap about because when you're doing a group setting, whether it be with 2 people, 3, 4, you guys are all inputting ideas like, yo, look, maybe we should do this, that, and the third. But it's like if I'm the only one rapping, it's like I get to do what I want now. You know what I mean? It's like I get to rap about whatever I want. So I decided to do this, while we were even still together in its infancy, but then, leading up to now, and now it just works, you know what I mean? Because he's into that thing and that stuff too, you know what I mean? But not maybe to the extent that I am, but it just works in our favor, man. And it's funny too about that record, like that wasn't even supposed to be a song. I actually did a TikTok Vine, like a IG video of that first, like me just like fucking around messing with it, and it went like viral immediately because that particular song, I did the video maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after Roddy Ricch dropped the song. So of course, people
you rode the wave.
Like, oh, you know what I mean? And they took to it really quick, you know what I mean? So then everyone was like, you gotta make this a song, you gotta make this a song. So I was like, F it, I guess I gotta make a song out of this now. You know what I mean? Did it, it just worked.
Yo, that is super, super fire, bro. And I'm a double back because I want to kind of get into it a little bit later about visuals. We had the hour. Wow, an hour went by that fast. If y'all just now coming in, it's Nerds in Charge, Nerds in Hip Hop. We got Crazy 8, General Vega, Hieroglyphics, Clutch the Boy Wonder, but he got grown man bars, and my bro, our son, the Voice, up in here. We already talked to Crazy 8, Hieroglyphics, and Clutch. We're about to get into it with General Vega and my man Randy. And before I even get to General Vega, I want to lead off with this song because this is my new anthem. I'm gonna let you know I was in the kitchen frying fish. Now a black man fry fish and listen to your music, that means you're doing something. You're doing something.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna lead right off with, you can go right on iTunes, y'all. Y'all can go right on iTunes, cop up. But here's the new anthem for all my geeks.
Official tough guy. With me, you don't wanna tangle. I leave you mangled, then disappear like Chris Angel. I'm Kurt Angle. Heel hook, snake your ankle. I must break you. Pull your spine through your navel. I'm with you. Never question if I'm able. Non-fatal. Go from critical to stable. If I can take you, that's a sign of bonus for my label. Forget World Star. This is pay-per-view cable. It's all mental. Got a spot on Jimmy Kimmel. No tuxedo. Spent some dough on the renter. So suspenseful. It was me and Kylie Jenner. Talked about Olympic medal winners and transgenders. No censors. They say I'm a repeat offender. Not pretender. Fight club senior member. Who can stop me? Status got me acting cocky. The world's watching. I got my spot to scare and stop me. I'm the leader of the geeks. Haters like speaking nothing I can hear it all. Log on to Instagram. Looks like I'm losing fans. It don't really matter long as I got you. Cause I'm the leader of the geeks. Mirror of the weirdos. Haters like speaking nothing I can hear it all. Log on to Instagram. Looks like I'm losing fans. It don't really matter long as I got you.
Look,
It's filthy.
listen.
Filthy just now. Oh, I like that.
Listen,
I love beats like that too.
Yeah, that shit was fire, man.
Thank you.
I gotta bring in a second mic because this one burned out. Y'all killing me right now. Y'all killing me. I ain't got enough equipment to finish the show.
Too much heat in here.
It's fire. So General Vega, number one, two things. Number one, where'd you get the name? And number two, Geek Mob. Break that down to us.
All right. To make a long story short, ultimately, I'm a big black guy, right? And I like Darth Vader.
We noticed.
I was going to come with Darth. I was going to come with Darth Vader, right? And then I was like, nah, that's biting. I don't want to do it like that. So then I was like, well, there's this guy on Street Fighter, right? And his name is Vega, and he wears a mask. And under his mask, he's real handsome. That's me, right? So what I said was, I'm gonna go by.
You gotta, I love it. Good.
Facts. So,
That's me.
so I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna just be Vega. Then I was like, nah, man. Everybody named Lil, everybody named Baby. I'm gonna lead something. I'm gonna spearhead a movement. So who better than a general, right? So then that's how I came up with General Vega. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's just a mixture of being a leader and Street Fighter. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the Geek Mob goes, I was sitting down with my son and he's playing Minecraft. And I'm like, bro, you've been playing this all day, you know? And I was like, yo, you're like the leader of the geeks or something. And he's like, yo, I get good grades. And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, you and your buddies. And he's like, yeah, all of us get good grades. I was like, yo, y'all like the Geek Mob. Then I was like, yo, I'm going to be General Vega, leader of the Geek Mob. And so the Geek Mob are basically people that don't fit in. You know what I mean? People that...
Oh, we know it well.
You know, and it's like, you know, people always say, you know, what's the Geek Mob? And I'm like, people that sit at the lunch table by themselves, or it's just a collective group of like-minded individuals that are like, you know, banded together. It didn't even start out like, I don't really like the term nerdcore, because nerdcore limits you. It puts you in a box. You know, I mean, I think everybody on this panel could be considered nerdcore, but I more so than nerdcore, I see MCs. I see real talented MCs, you know, that could rhyme about whatever, not just about comic books. That's the subject matter that they chose. You know what I mean? And so, you know, when people say nerdcore, I was looking at Mega Ran, I was looking at MC Chris. I'm like, nah, I don't rhyme like them. I'm a little bit different. I'm more like y'all. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I was like, I don't necessarily fit in. But, you know, again, I don't want to take up too much time. That's pretty much what it is. That's how General Vega came. And, you know, I kind of do General Vega, and then I do Dark Vega. And if you listen to my album, like, you know, you kind of get the vibe of what I'm doing. But if I'm like, rap inventor, all contenders, our pretenders, leave you injured, drunk drivers, fender benders, that's Dark Vega. General Vega is, I'm the leader of the geeks. You see what I'm saying? It's a different.
It's a different tempo.
There you have it.
Listen, you always need a player too. Yeah. And we're gonna okay. Because there's a lot. There's just so much to get into, because almost each and every one of you have an alter ego. And I love it, because right now we're talking to the Clark Kents, but we're gonna get into the superheroes. But I gotta go to my man our son, because, bro, first of all, boom bap. That whole. How long you been working on that album?
I've been working on that album for 3 years. 3 years, dude. Like, I put the idea out right after I put out my EP, The Art of Words. And I was like, you know what? Let me put out, I want to do this album, and I have these ideas. Let me do it. And then it was like, me and my son's mom broke up, and then like my dad got sick, and this happened, and that happened, and touring with Gangsta Grass and all this, like a lot of stuff got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And it finally just got done and came out on the 1st of May. I'm really, really excited about it. The guy, funny story, the guy that I recorded most of the album with, my man DJ Why Not, a bunch of his beats were on the album. That dude's actually like a guy my ex-wife was dating, and she was like, "Yo, this dude's he's like, you would love this guy." And now he's like my man. That's
would you say life could be stranger than fiction?
Without question. Without question. But that's my dude. And he, recorded the whole album at his crib. He lives like 5 minutes from me. And, went over there, recorded the album, recorded a couple of joints with Wrench up in New York. My man Chops from the Mountain Brothers. Me and Chops go way back. I've known Chops for 20 some years. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing an album. He was like, here's a bunch of beats. I'm like, cool.
Cool. And because the vibe on it though. So I'm gonna play a cut from Boom Bap. Now, I have my personal favorite, but I don't want to do that. What would you like me to play for the people?
Yeah, all right. You know what? You can go ahead and play I Am.
I figured that's what you was. See, bang for your buck is my twist, but I was like, there's so many good cuts off of this, and it's such a different vibe. But for everybody who's not familiar, I'm gonna drop the link to get General Vega's music and to get our son's music. We're gonna, but for right now, I'm about to play I Am for you, and this is off the Boom Bap album that took this.
Boom Bap Therapy is the name of the album.
Boom Bap Therapy. 3 years to make the album. It's self-explanatory.
What did you say you were? I am Jules after the diner walking the earth. The shepherd protecting the weak man with the verse. Written the first. I'm Rich and Claudia's second son. When it comes to getting it done, I am second to none. I am set to become more great in my advanced age. Ill as a silverback gorilla on a rampage. A spirit you can't cage. Destined to be free. Spin me on wax or download the MP3. I am the MTV generation that walked away from it. When it gave up the opportunity to say something. I am the A+ in the C- class, full of no ambition kids who ain't trying to pass. I am a peaceful man, driven to violence in defense of people, forced to penitence. But you'll only catch me on one event for extra strength to make sure the spirit is sent to its proper destination, right on target. And the mark kid is officially called to the carpet. And at the same time, the rug pulled from under his feet and the wool from the eyes of the sheep. I am rather unique, like a P-rock piano loop, in the manner that there's very few things I cannot do. I am, in the words of a brother from Cameroon, not a cat but a lion with a heart made of iron, with fire in his eyes and lava in his veins. After hearing that, I can't look at none of y'all the same. I am the father of 3 half-black kids that have no doubt in their hearts what their black is about. Catch a smack in the mouth, trying to question me and mine. Especially this destiny to shine, and I'm here to go according to plan. Am I getting it done? I told you I am. Better now.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, the beat's crazy. The beat's crazy too.
That beat was crazy.
Thank you.
The flow.
It's clean.
Here's the great thing about that beat. That beat came from a cat named Jay Will that I met online when I was in grad school, right? And
Wow.
He was in grad school too, had done a paper about some hip hop stuff, and I read it and it was dope. And he was like, yeah, this is one of my here's this link to a bunch of my old beats. You can have them if you want. I don't know where that dude is now. I have no clue where he is. And so every media I'm on, I like put it out there, like, where are you? Because he had like 50 beats on there. I took like 6 of them. And
that's crazy.
So dope. So I miss this guy to death. My man DJ Why Not did the cuts on there. And a lot of that is weirdly true. Like that line about, you know, I am, in the words of a brother from Cameroon, not a cat but a lion.
Right.
A guy from Cameroon actually said that to me. Like we were in Portland. Gangsta Grass was in Portland, and we did an after party for the Rose City Comic-Con, which was nuts. And this dude was just there chilling. That's where I met Rax Morales. I was like, oh my God, it's Rax Morales. He came to the show. Greatest night ever. As a matter of fact, I interviewed David Walker, Rax Morales, and Matt Wagner that day.
So basically a dope day.
Like, it was just the best day ever. This dude I was like, nah, I'm just a regular cat. He was like, nah, man, you're not a cat, you're a lion with a heart made of iron. I was like,
that's how they talk too.
Yeah, can't do nothing but accept that one.
Okay then, and it just kind of stuck. There's a line in there. That line about being this. You only catch me on one knee bent for extra strength to make sure the spear is set. That's from 300. Remember at the end when
Leonidas
when he knelt and then he stood up and threw the spear. That's where that's from, man. Like all of that stuff just comes from this random, this random geek stuff that sits in my head all the time, and it's like, all right, that's going in a verse. That means something. Let me put that in a verse.
Yo, that's so dope because you almost you take the elements of our fandoms and our arts and then you blend it into your art. Gangsta Grass, you can't go home, bro. If anybody's ever been to jail, and I don't need to get you. Look, we ain't got to. If you got a good job, you ain't got to tell nobody your business. But if you go. That's what I'm about to say. I don't want nobody. Look, we all in quarantine. Jobs as scarce as it is.
We ain't doing the fingers thing right
now. No. But Gangsta Grass, you can never go home, bro. What is that? I want to get some insight on that real quick.
Okay, so our banjo player Dan Whitener, he wrote that song. He came up with the whole concept of it and wrote the whole thing. And when Dolio and I wrote our verses, the idea was us to be just kind of speaking from a perspective. And so I wrote my verse talking to him like he was my brother and he went away to jail and, just sort of telling the whole story. And the version that you hear, if you ever hear us perform it live, the second half of my verses, I don't remember it. So I just freestyle the second half. I'm like, whatever. Let's figure something out and see if it works.
Yeah, because you definitely did that live, and I was like, "That's not the words." Wait, hold on.
Literally every show, it's different because I don't remember the second part of it. I'm lazy like that. But
hey, that's some insight for you.
I just haven't memorized it. I'm terrible. I know. But here's the great thing about that song is Dolio's verse is so good. I hate doing that song because
you had to go behind him.
So good, man. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, "Why am I even on this? This is why? Why am I?"
Don't be like that, bro. Because it's such a great song.
That verse so hard.
Yes, he does.
So good.
I genuinely, Dolio is such a dope artist in and of himself because number one, he's like ungodly smart.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Wu-Tang, like you know how Jizza is a whole astrophysicist.
Yeah, Dolio, this guy's an MIT grad.
He went to MIT. Like
he teaches at Harvard. He teaches at Harvard.
He's an MIT grad. He's teaching now down in Delaware, but he's teaching computer science. He's teaching coding. He's been teaching this stuff for years. He's an absolute genius. You know what I mean? And so one of the things I do like about that I love about being a Gangsta Grass is writing with him because he keeps me sharp, man. He keeps me real sharp. That dude. There's a couple joints on the new album that we're working on. We're working on a new album called No Time for Enemies, and I heard his verse and I was like, nah, I have to rewrite this whole thing. I have to do the whole thing over again because this is too good. I hate you.
That's pull the nuts. I was about to say, has anybody else had that issue? Like when they're now that we kind of got a taste of everybody's music, we got an idea of who everybody is. It's kind of just like an open forum to kind of just talk right now. Where number one, how do you get over your creative blocks? Anybody?
That's a good question.
Everybody was like, hold on.
Orthodox. Oh my God.
I feel like, I'm not going to lie to you, maybe when I was doing music with my brother, I had little ways of doing that. Maybe just, listening to other types of music, outside of the genre that I'm actually performing myself, stuff like that. I use that. But now currently, since I do the type of music that I do, I don't get blocked because it's like there's so many characters and there's so many different, you know what I mean? So it's like,
content.
Unless I rap about everyone in the world, which is impossible, it's like I can't get blocked. You know what I mean? But it's like I definitely listen to different types of music. I feel like that's like the main thing for me. Like I'll be focusing on rap. All right, fine. I'll start listening to R&B. I'll start listening to metal, whatever. Boom. Because then I'll hear like one little different sound, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Not necessarily so I can incorporate it in mine, but I'm just like, that's different. now let me be different. And then boom, I just started getting right back into it, you know?
Did you get the anime revelation where they be like, whoa,
yeah, right? Jimmy Neutron.
You know, when they zoom in on the eyes of the glasses, get real shiny, like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You was like, oh, here come this fire.
Nah,
like that. Word. Straight up.
I don't know. Like for me personally, like when I need it's like two methods. Like I have like I'm gonna go into the not so dark method first. You know, I'm gonna start off like
okay. But I want you to get in that dark method because I think we all
I'm gonna
got
get
that.
in my bag, trust me.
Say less. Say less.
What I usually do is like I need like, you know, inspiration. Like my inspiration comes from everywhere. Like, you know, I got an unhealthy obsession with like Naruto and Robin, like them two particularly. And like the mantle, the Robin, you know, I don't know if anybody, y'all should be familiar. Like this.
Oh, Cole, trust me, I'm very familiar.
Yeah. I love it.
You with your people. You with your people.
But the one who translates to me most is Dick Grayson, because like I had a real problem with like my like life in terms of like I'm always like moving forward and I'm like kind of not realizing the things that's behind me, even though I do want to like take care of people, and I know there's a lot of shit that's going on, but I had to develop in the environment that I was in and shit that I was conditioned to. I had to like learn to feed off negative energy. And for like a while, like until I got to discover myself a little bit, I didn't know what it was to have positive energy. So like now it's to a point where like there's certain characters that inspire me. So I watch a bunch of anime. I listen to like mad different types of music. I like my range of music is like crazy because I love to respect the old school. Like, and my roommate, he's big Wu-Tang fan. I love my J. Cole. I love my Kendrick. I get into A Boogie. But I'll also throw in some pop songs. Like I'll throw in like Moana, sing my fucking lungs out like 7 in the morning. Wake up.
That Disney
like,
Plus came in handy, huh?
Yo, I be wildin'. So that, you know, sometimes I gotta get myself in the mood. But when it's time to write, for real, I will then get a bottle of wine, Cabernet Sauvignon. Get a blunt.
Hold on.
Man, it's sophisticated over here.
Yeah.
I get that, pour a little bit of grape juice in it because that shit is a little bitter, so I balance the shit out. I'm a big believer in balance and shit like that, yin and yang. That's another story. But I'll lock myself in the bathroom, and then I gotta feel a beat. First and foremost, I gotta feel a beat. When I'm ready to write to the beat, I know the beat was meant for me, whatever the case may be. I'll purchase it, the license, or exclusive, or however the business goes about getting the beat. But once I got that, I lock myself in, I turn the lights out, and like I drink, I smoke, and I kind of like, one thing I've always been on myself is like, I'm kind of hard on myself. Like there's skills that I've developed that I like. I know I'm the only one who can take my family out of this situation. Like people tell me that everybody got their own lives and, you know, shit like that. But as a young identified African-American, 26 years old, who lives in the Bronx, I'm like, how I see it is that's how we got here in the first place. The crowd barrel effect. You worrying about yourselves. That's why I love Robin. I put on the tights and shit like that because there's a certain amount of sacrifice I'm willing to take. Like, you know, I'm like, I need to see my younger ones, my aunts, like, you know, younger kids, I'm my mom's only child. Like, I gotta see, I do not want them to go through the shit me and my other family went through. It's a vicious cycle, man. And I'm like, it's hard to talk to them about it. And it's just like, yo, I gotta break it. And I gotta be resilient. So there's pieces of me that I have to sacrifice. And music is one of those pieces.
Damn. All right, wait a minute now. You done got my giblets going because trying to keep it together. Because you know what? When we talk about being a part of the community, helping the community, one thing that I love is Crazy 8 is a huge anti-bullying advocate. I know you speak into the Cleveland schools and whatnot. I want to know, why was that near and dear to your heart? What spawned your desire to make that the thing you focused on?
So basically, man, bullying started for me in the 2nd grade. I almost lost my life in the second grade. Like, actually, one of my best friends betrayed me because he was scared to get bullied on by the people that was bullying me. So they pretty much coerced him into sharpening a pencil and stabbing me, right?
Whoa,
so,
what?
Wow.
And the ill part about it is I watched them sharpen the pencil. Like, it was one of those, like, you kind of see your life flashing before your eyes type situation and shit. And we was like the class clowns and shit. So we at the end of the line, go in the lineup, go to the bathroom. We come back, and we at the end, the teachers go in, which they never do. I don't know. It was just set up to be this way. The teachers went in first. All the classmates went in, and he like wouldn't move no further. I'm like, bro, what you doing, man? Like, we gotta get in the class. He turned around and like, if anybody has ever like back home that like knows him, he got this real disarming smile. So when like you see it, it's like one of those it's about to be all good type of things. So imagine being stabbed while he's smiling like that. It's the weirdest shit ever, because it's like I guess by reflex I blocked it with my hand. So like he stabbed me here the first time, he got me good, and then he tried to stab me again. I caught the pencil and the lead snapped off in my hand, and then he ran off into the class and shit. So that was my first run in with like, cause like I bled a lot, like the shit was crazy, and surviving that.
Damn.
Put me in surviving that put me in a weird place, because one, my best friend just did this to me, and then two, I still felt for him because that's how terrorizing these bullies were. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I wish we could have talked about it and been like, yo, let's fight them together or some shit. But it's like, I understand the need for self-preservation. But if we had somebody we could depend on to help us in situations like that, that would have been different. So I wanted to be the person that people could depend on if they was going through that type of situation, because I mean, it's been a few more times to where I almost lost my life due to bullying, just because I don't know what it is about me, but my aura or my personality, my spirit bothers people to a point where either they're super interested or super offended. It's never that in between where you just want to be like, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? So because I went through that a couple times, I done been stomped, kicked, beat into the ground, stabbed, I done been shot at. A lot of stuff didn't happen when it comes to bullying, to that aspect, to where like anxieties develop. I've never once though, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people have in the history have gone to suicide and things of that nature. Like that I guess I'm too stubborn to die that way. I'd rather
I want to laugh at it, but I get you.
Like I gotta get you back, or I gotta fight for, you know what I'm saying, fight. I might be weak now, but I'm not about to be weak later. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wanna be a beacon for people to see, like, yo, I went through what you went through, but now I wish a nigga would. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I wish a nigga would.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because basically
what you've been through, now I wish a nigga would.
Yeah,
that's
you know what I'm saying?
Brilliant.
So like,
that's a bar.
That is brilliant.
People and teachers and adults will always tell you this turn the other cheek or tell the teacher type shit. And I've done these things that only brought more consequence to me in a negative sense. So when I teach anti-bullying, or when I tell people my story, my shit ain't go tell the teacher, is yo, punch that nigga in the eye and maybe he'll leave you alone.
That's that good black teaching.
Listen, would nobody tell me no shit like that when I was coming up? You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up with my mom.
I think we got Cali, Cleveland, New York, Philly, Atlanta. Those are all cities you can get punched in the eye in.
Yeah, real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? You put somebody in their shit, they gonna think twice before they try to bully you. But it took me a while to build that confidence. So through music, I built that confidence, and it's like, all right, I'm at a point now where I can show this heroism through lyricism, and hopefully everybody can, you know what I'm saying, can relate. And if they can't, or if they can't speak, they can speak through me. So that's basically where I got the inkling, the urge, that impulse to be a hero. It's the reason why I take on the superhero mantle all the time, because I'm practically All Might out here and shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, All Might though.
It's
I wanted
just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
I wanted to interject real quick.
Go ahead, go, bro.
And like, it's crazy, man. Two things, you know. One, it just goes to show how powerful bullying is based off the story you just said. I mean, your man got bullied into bullying someone. You know what I mean? And he was going through the same thing you were. You know what I mean? And the second part I was gonna say is that, you know, it just goes to show a lot about the other person more than it does about yourself. You know, because you were talking about auras and energies, and I feel like there's usually something wrong with the other person than it is with you. You know what I mean? Because it's never about you. You know what I mean? No, you're wrong. It's about you, but it's like when someone does harm like that, they're probably hurting too. Because
they got something going on with them.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy. But another thing I was gonna say was like, it just goes to show, man. It's like that one saying. It's like even the people that you think won't do you like that will do you like that. You know
what they say? It'd be your own people.
Yo, it will, man, because you really be thinking sometimes like, yo, this is my man, $100 grand. He'll never do that. And then when it does happen, that betrayal, that look in your eyes, like you said, like the smile and everything, it's just like, wow, like. Really?
Like every time Batman has an issue with somebody, but
I don't want anybody to think that I was ignoring him.
Go ahead, Randy. What you about to say?
I don't want anybody to think I was ignoring him. I was literally changing the quote on my Facebook page to say, I've been through what I've been through. Now I wish a nigga would. Crazy ain't the great.
Crazy ain't the great.
I wanted to add the high.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Before you add a question, I'm gonna go right back to you. I just want everybody to know we had the 7:30 hour. So for anybody in the chats, anybody watching on the lives, anybody who's been itching to call in, I know we usually hold it to the last half an hour. So you got 30 minutes. If you call, I pinned the line to the Facebook chat, but I want to say the phone number for you right now. If you want to call in and talk or ask a question to anybody that's on our panel today, the call-in number is 267-271-4219. It's 267-271-4219. I'm going to say it one last time. 267-271-4219. If you want to call in, ask a question, or get to know anybody on our panel a little bit more. We got about 30 minutes left in the show. I'm gonna kick it back to Clutch. But if you're on Twitch or YouTube, if you need the phone calling number, just hop over to Facebook. It's already pinned at the top of the chat. For anybody on Facebook, y'all could just call into the number. I'll screen you. Make sure you ain't one of their crazy exes. And as long as you good, I'll put you on the line. I'm trying to look out for y'all. I want y'all to come back. I'll put you on the line, and you can talk to any one of our panelists. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Clutch. But go ahead, continue.
Nah, no problem. And I want everybody here to have their equal time. So I just wanted to add to High real quick, because what he said, he was like, most of the time when these situations happen, it's not you, it's them. Yo, you're absolutely fucking right. Read a book. Like, this shit is like changed my fucking life. The 4 agreements, be impeccable to your word. Don't take it personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Yo, that shit is so like important, because like there's a lot of people that has internal problems and don't even know how to deal with it and express themselves, and that's why I'm always expressive at any given moment. I just learned how to present my message, when I'm talking to certain people, because every person is not the same. But boy, most of the time when people got a problem with you, the problem lies within. And I feel like I'm an example of that, because I made a lot of mistakes on the way, man. A lot of fucking mistakes. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make more.
We all have. You
got plenty of life to make some mistakes, boy.
Yeah, but it's just like a lot of differences. Like a lot of men, a lot of women, whatever the case may be. It's like a lot of people don't do reflecting, man. And I noticed that, and you could tell by the anger in people's voice. So whenever people was just like upset and shit don't make sense, it's just like, damn, they got a lot going on right now. And a lot of that that's being more understandable, man. Trying to understand people more.
Yeah, that's what makes Batman so dope, man. Like, when you really look into his character, so a lot of people think he just busts ass all day, and he does. But the biggest thing about that dude, the biggest thing about that dude is, and if you really read his comments, I'm sure you do, Clutch, is that he's trying to reform these dudes. He knows they're messed up. He knows they're messed up, especially when it comes to Joker. He's like, yo, dude, like a perfect example, the movie The Killing Joke. He said it. He was like, yo, dude, let me help you. He's like, I know you had a shitty life, dude. He's like, let me help you. And Joker's like, it's too late, dude. Like,
how goodness now? See, why'd you have to do that? Why you had to bring up? Because I want to kick this to Vega, because I'm almost positive that General Vega and I got the same ideology that the Joker should have been killed a whole hell of a lot longer ago than what Batman allowed.
I agree.
I agree.
Vega, now as somebody who has protected people, that's always an interesting dynamic that a lot of people don't have the experience in life to actually become a protector. As a protector, how does that play in with your persona?
It's weird, man. I feel like when it comes to being a hero, there's so many different morals and ethics that you have to put into play, because in the end of the day, you're the one acting as like judge, jury, executioner. You're the one out there. There's no limits behind you. You got some heroes that work within the law, the confines of the law, like Superman, stuff like that. But even him, he's calling the shots. So it's like, who's to say who's right or wrong? Because if that's the case, you can say the same thing that you just said about Batman, about a lot of these heroes, Superman included. Superman could have been off General Zod or Doomsday or Metallo, all these dudes. But what does he do?
No, they need to kill Doomsday. That nigga serves no purpose.
No, he did that. But there's so many different incarnations where he doesn't kill this dude. He just throws him away. So it's like, dude, why not? Get rid of him. You know what I mean? Same thing with Flash, Green Lantern, all these dudes. So it's like they have to like take that time and that moment to be like, all right, look, I'm not Hal Jordan. I'm not Clark Kent. I'm Superman in this moment. So do I do what's best for me, or do I do what's best for the people? Because at the end of the day, everyone else is looking in like, yo, dude, Batman, you killed this dude.
So you give me the greater good. You kind of give me the greater good argument.
Like, oh, you're Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's so many different things that come into play. And, outside of heroes, it takes a lot of like integrity and strength and courage and compassion to really look at someone that did you wrong and be like, damn, man, you know what? I understand you, boom, opposed to just taking them out, because then you may feel guilty or regret it and be like, damn, the reason why this dude was bullying me is because he was getting bullied at home, whatever like that. I was just like, you know what I mean? I was the scapegoat. I was the one that he was taking it out on, but here it is. This dude was trying to,
And after I understand that, I'ma still whoop his ass.
That's the whole Clark Kent side of it, and I like it because I think I like to put parallels. Look at Batman and then look at Superman. Batman's core came from trauma, but his meaning, and that's why I love him so much, because this man had every reason in the world to like just go fuck the world up. And this man was like, nah, I do not want this to happen to anybody. And to have him Don Robbins because of that, a lot of people's like, yo, it's psychological, like, yo, putting the kid in the street and stuff like that. But it's just like, niggas don't understand. Children don't listen. Like, if they're capable of doing something, they're gonna do it anyway. Unless you like, the proper thing to do is guide them, to talk to them. Like, it's just like, I'm not gonna lie.
Jason Todd was out there stealing his tires when he first met him.
Yes, he was.
Yo, Jason,
yes, he was.
How you jack the Batmobile?
Yo,
the only one that had like a pretty good life was Tim, but the rest of them were ODing.
Yo, fact.
Oh, man, big fact.
So Vega, General Vega, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I don't really like to talk about that, but ultimately it was the thing of, when you protect somebody professionally, unfortunately, you find yourself in the position of being paid to become a bully. You do. I mean, you find yourself in a situation where, number one, they want to see what they're paying for. So, I mean, it's not a situation where you go to a nightclub and then somebody who's a fan will be taking pictures of Crazy 8 the Great, right? And Crazy 8 says, hey, I'm paying you $500 a night. Tell that guy right there, don't take pictures. The guy is 6'8", 300 pounds. Say, no, I'm going to take pictures. I'm a fan of Crazy 8. And then I'm going to be like, hey, brother, I'm going to ask you to step to the side real quick. You just can't stand right here. I'm not going nowhere. Now I got to do my job. Very unfortunate. And now I'm a bully because that person didn't do anything wrong. That didn't sit well with me for many years. You know, very difficult to be in those type of situations because ultimately my core, I'm not a street dude. I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island. I'm not a street dude at all. But as I grew up, I got paid to beat up street dudes. So ultimately, I was always like a nerdy dude that I could handle myself very well. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't really care to talk about that too much. You know, again,
no, I get you, Vic.
You know, that's a tough deal. But, you know, when I hear about people being bullied, that angers me. It really does.
Yeah, nah, being bullied is definitely not the wave, you know.
Now we got Omar from Philadelphia called in. He kind of wanted to jump in on this conversation because, as he said it, y'all got it lit up in here. Omar, you online?
Yes, sir. What's good? It's Omar Clifton, Black Pope, Philadelphia. I'm going to start in on this. How y'all feeling tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
I'm loving the bars.
Oh, you like the bars? Oh, they fire, ain't they?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Omar, we talking about the psychology of the superheroes. What's your take on it?
My issue with Superman is I got a lot of issues with Superman. But my first is you have the ability to stop massive things from happening. Like, I don't know if anybody read like the Outside Joint Kingdom Come, where Batman is like, Superman is right. Superman came up like, you're a bad guy, you scare people. He said, you go on TV telling people you can hear everything, you could be everywhere in a second, you're eye beaming through locks. You are just as much a terrorist as I am. How dare you judge me? Like, consequently, in Injustice, Superman was like, you should have been killed Joker. Both of these dudes are trash when it comes to morals. They're trying to live up to some ideas that they want other people to have. I'm an orphan. I'm a human. No, you're a Kryptonian who was raised by humans. The fact that you can use those powers so well means you've been training to get us. Batman might be right. If he goes wrong, we're fucked.
Omar, have you ever read Tower of Babel?
But oh my goodness, beautiful.
Right now.
Oh,
listen, Tower of Babel. And for anybody that's listening, if you ever want to know what Batman would do, if ever the Justice League act the fool, he got work for everybody.
He got the joint with the OMAC, right?
Now, see, hey, Randy, what was the DCU cartoon movie called? War?
No, that wasn't War. That was
That wasn't War. What was it?
Wait, which one you talking about? You talking about the one where he had where they stole the ideas off his computer and they used
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, Justice League. Doom. Justice League Doom.
Justice League Doom. Yeah.
Justice League.
And that proved right there that Batman is OP. His character is off whack. I don't give a fuck. Batman is that nigga.
Okay, now I'm ending this conversation right now.
Because Randy,
I'm ending this conversation right now. First, Martian Manhunter did it first. Go back and read JLA Year One. Martian Manhunter had files on everybody first. That's number one.
Because he is a mind reader.
Second, and I'm ending the Superman conversation right now. It's very important. Imagine you woke up tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to, you could do anything you wanted. And if you really decided that was going to be the case, nobody could do a goddamn thing about it. Nobody, right?
So Brightburn, basically.
So now, what kind of person would you have to be to not only do all the horrible shit that just popped into your head, but to decide, hey, not only am I not going to do any of that shit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on a daily basis, say, if this shit comes from out of here, fucking with y'all, I'm going to be the guy that's me. I'm going to be the guy to take care of that.
I respect that.
That's who I am. Every single day, right? And then, you know, when you put it there, right? And then not only does he do that and say, I'm going to do that, y'all should love me. It's just, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take over shit because I have enough faith in you as beings that you will figure out your own problems. I will handle this big shit. The stuff that's coming
I'm
from
a
the other side of the universe and the monsters and all that shit, I'll handle that. I'm gonna let y'all figure yourselves out. It's not my job to run shit for you.
But that's what Lex Luthor was trying to do, though. That's what Lex Luthor was preaching, though.
That's why I feel injustice in like Batman's critiques and the Batman Superman. Like that's the end result of Clark Kent.
All right, so wait a minute, Omar. Let me ask you a question. If you got a problem with Batman and Superman, real quick before we take you off, who do you think symbolizes what a superhero should be?
Yeah, I gotta hear this.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
it's weird.
No, don't give me this weird.
It can't be weird. Nope.
It's straight up.
I just don't have that fandism. As who should a superhero be?
Like who embodies it for you? Like, there's got to be a character that you like.
Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
That's my number two. That's my number two.
What's your number one?
Batman was always my number one.
Batman
was always my number one.
General Vega, who's your number one that embodies what a superhero should be?
General Vega.
Randy, I already know who you gonna say.
My number two.
Clutch, I don't know. Is it Batman still, or is it? Look,
yeah.
I mean, look.
I'm a way bigger Batman fan than people think. Way bigger Batman fan than people think. Because that's the very idea. Like, I got to do all of this. I got to do all this shit. I'm gonna do all this every day, and so y'all don't have to deal with it. All right, cool.
My biggest thing with Batman is that he's a hypocrite. That's my biggest thing. Love him. He's a hypocrite.
Wait, hieroglyphics. Is it Barry or is it Wally?
Barry all day.
Man, miss me.
Let's go to boy.
Nerds in hip hop. Please set these people straight. Who the number one?
I still say, hey, I gotta go with my man, Omar, man. Spider-Man. I've been a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, I agree with Spider-Man.
I agree with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is the same. Yo, that's how you be a hero.
Right,
you know why?
I gotta put a mic. I gotta put a mic up close. First of all, is everybody black and Black Panther? Y'all can miss me with that. T'Challa is the supreme superhero. He runs a whole country. He still find time to well, he was boo loving with Storm, but he had the curb.
That didn't last.
No, I was mad. Yeah, that did not last.
He's the richest in Marvel too. And I think the fourth smartest in Marvel as well.
Yeah. Hey, all I'm saying is, we rich, we running countries, and we got superpowers, and we still love the ancestors. Come on, man. Thank you. And the way the world is going right now, you better vote for somebody black. Goddamn, no, I'm sorry.
I'll take him over the Great White Hope any day.
Oh, my man, Omar, thank you for calling in, bro.
You for having me. Y'all be blessed.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Bless up, man. Bless up.
Yo, I love it when we get to really get into it. Now, we got 15 minutes, and I want to make sure everybody knows where to find, search, and support you, brothers. So starting with Randy, and I'm going to just, on my screen, it's tiled down. But Randy, if you could you let everybody know where to find your content, where to support what you're doing, and where to buy your music?
You can get the album Boom Bap Therapy at boombaptherapy.com. My EP from 2017, The Art of Words, is finally streaming. Hooray! That's how old I am. I just got my stuff streaming. But that's up there too. And all the rest of the stuff that I'm doing, you can check it out. Gangstagrass.com. The new single, Nickel and Dime Blues, just dropped, and the album No Time for Enemies will be out in August.
Beautiful. I'm gonna move down to Crazy 8, the Great. I gotta say the whole name. It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
I apologize. It's all one word. I've been shortening it up. I gotta make sure I give him that man due respect. Crazy 8, the Great. Let him know.
Yeah, so you can find me on all social media as Crazy the number 8 THE Great. It's only one of me. You can't get another. And just click the link on my bio on my Instagram page. It'll send you the link tree. And the link tree will take you to everything. The only thing that might not be on there is my freestyle series, volume 1 of my freestyle series, which is on Audio Mac. If you want that, send me a DM. I'll send you the link ASAP. You don't want to miss it. The bars is crazy.
Sorry about that. We got to call her in. I'm put them on hold till we get through everybody. But they wanted to hop on with you. General Vega, could you let everybody know where to support you, find your content, and where can they pick up merchandise?
All streaming services. Also, www.thegeneralvega.com. I have cool merch. You can feel free to follow me on Instagram at general_Vega. That's also my YouTube. My album is already out. I'm actually dropping my second album July 22nd.
After my birthday.
Okay.
To
That's
check
summer
me out.
heat.
Yeah, that summer banger. Yeah. I need that. Clutch, come on, baby.
What's up?
Could you let everybody know?
You can follow me at Clutch_Boy_Wonder, Instagram, Clutch Spaceboy Wonder, Facebook, SoundCloud, Clutch Spaceboy Wonder. We working on the Instagram and other DSPs right now. I'm just trying to get situated. I got a lot of tech around me, so I'm just trying to focus on one platform at a time.
Oh, that's love, baby. And for anybody that's in the chat, once again, I already dropped links to each one of these individuals where you can start your search and start digging up their content and make sure that you follow up. I really need to see their numbers increase. I want to see these brothers should not have the same Instagram, Twitter, Facebook numbers at the end of this show.
Right.
Yeah, everybody talk about supporting Black business, and then now is the time for solidarity. If any time there was a time for you to support Black creators who are talking about something not only that you love, but ain't talking about murder, death, and smacking women.
Let's go.
So I'm just saying, if y'all want to start somewhere, that's why hieroglyphics, because I think that is such a dope name and a dope way to start a name. Please let everybody know.
Thank you, man. Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, all of it's the same. Hieroglyphics, HIGHROWGLYPHFIX, or just HRGF. He raps great for real.
Hey.
That's love. Look, we got my man Jay Rich from J1 Studios. He wanted to hop on the line and kind of pontificate on this geek thing with us a little bit. Jay Rich, you still there?
Yeah. I'm still here. What's up, y'all?
What up?
What up?
So Jay, come on, drop. What you talking on, brother?
Listen, everybody knows me as Spider-Man. That's been my thing. That's been my moniker for a minute. What's up, Randy? Because me and Randy
What's up, baby?
Projects together.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm about to drop some gems on you real quick. Spider-Man is the realest working cat out there.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, he is.
I'm not going to deny that. Guess what?
I can't be mad at it.
He the only cat that has to work to pay rent. Everybody else is rich.
He do got black problems. He definitely got black problems.
That's why Pete invited to the cookout.
Yo, his girl always trying to leave him. He never got the rent. He always about to get fired. If them ain't black problems, I don't know.
See, I see you and Peter Parker and raise you Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan ain't never got a job. That boy is always out on the street. His girl is always leaving him.
Hal Jordan, yeah.
He ain't ever working though. He's a pilot that lost his license half the time. Boy ain't working.
He ain't got to worry about rent.
He doesn't have a home to live. He doesn't have a job. And Kingdom Come didn't construct the place.
That was a different Green Lantern. That was Alan Scott.
Oh, boy.
That was Alan Scott.
All right, I'm gonna let that ride. There's more. Wait a minute. There's another white man between Kyle Rayner.
Alan Scott was first.
And Guy Gardner too.
And Guy Gardner, yeah.
Alan Scott was first, and Kyle Rayner's half next year.
If it was not for John
Why
Stewart,
everybody just mentioned my boy John?
I just think. Did I say
John Stewart?
I did not just say John. That was affirmative action, though. Green Lantern got sued. They was like, you better have a black Green Lantern by next year. And they was like, Jonathan Stewart, I guess.
I'm just saying.
That's all you wanted to say, Jay?
I was gonna jump in the video if I could, because I'm wearing nothing but Spider-Man, because I did a little picture with Spider Fantasy.
Lord, no.
Get
up out of here,
Yeah,
man.
go ahead, do your thing. I gotta go swing and get these webs. I'm running out of fluid, man.
Oh, well, don't run out of food, brother. Look, if I need to send you some, I'll cash app you. We'll talk after the show. All right. All right, bro. I'll talk with you.
Send me some grits.
All right. I could see everybody know fat niggas got grits. I don't like that.
Why grits specifically?
I know, and mind you, if he said cream of wheat, I'd have felt disrespected, but at least he said grits. Before we get out of here, we got about 7 good minutes, and genuinely, I know that just like General Vega said, y'all are true to life MCs, but I kind of want to know about your nerddoms too, and I already know we got Batman fans and whatnot, but what are y'all digging right now? Like we've been cooped up for 3 months. I know y'all got to be loving something. I'm gonna start with Nerds in Hip Hop. What you watching? What you loving? What you into right now?
Bruh, I'm gonna start with what I got into during this time, which was long overdue. Attack on Titan, man. That is that is my favorite anime now, hands down.
Yes. Did you see the trailer for the new season?
No,
today, my dude.
You seen that?
Seen it? Oh.
That thing gonna be fire,
bruh.
All right, what about you, Randy? What are you digging on right now?
I'm waiting on this second season of Umbrella Academy.
Facts.
That first season was sick.
It was so dope.
That shit was dope.
And I just bought Tom King's Superman Up and Away.
Okay.
And it's magnificent, dude. Tom King is that dude. If you're a Batman fan and aren't reading his Batman, you're missing out. It's some of the best stuff ever. Yeah, Tom King is killing it.
Crazy 8th Degree. What about you, bro? What you digging on right now?
Me and Hyro was talking about this not too long ago, but we've been fucking with Promised Neverland, so I'm waiting on this.
So good.
Neverland.
Is that the joint with the kids?
Yeah, and I've been diving into more of the Batman Who Laughs.
Best anime of 2019. Okay, what's it?
And I'm also fucking with the Batman Who Laughs. I'm like,
oh yeah, that whole I keep
Maybe laugh.
Yeah, the Batman Who Laughs. Because somebody spoiled it for me about Billy Batson. I'm not gonna get into it, but somebody spoiled that for me, and I was kind of mad. So I'm gonna wait till it's over to read it.
The sequel to that is coming out. Dark Knight's Metal. I forget the second part. No.
I saw some of the art for that. That was dope. General Vega, what about you, bro? What you digging on right now?
I don't know if this qualifies, but I watched for I don't know, the last 3 months, every episode of The Blacklist.
That counts. That's a fandom.
It counts.
Because that's a smooth brother.
Raymond Reddington is official. He's official.
He got boss moves for boss moves, and he Ultron. Who better to be Ultron? I started off with the first 2 seasons of Blacklist, and I kept waiting to see if the dude was a father, and they haven't really. Once they didn't reveal that within the first 2 seasons, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and turn on Pornhub because this is. I'm sorry. Was I telling too much about? I'm sorry.
That's a placeholder for everybody.
Listen, 3 months in the house, I ain't watching no Blacklist now. Clutch, what about you? What you digging on right now?
Oh shit, man! I just got finished watching Justice League War not too long ago. My boy, Apocalypse War. Oh man.
Holy shit!
I'm like,
don't spoil it. No. Where can I watch that, yo? Where can I find that?
Yo, I got you with the Kiss anime links. Yo, say less.
Say less. I'm about to end the show now, just so we can go ahead on. How what about you? What you digging on right now?
I've watched this anime a few times, but I love watching it again. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That show is crazy. Probably the most unique power I've ever seen in anime. Probably some of the most. But also too, I also have been rewatching Cowboy Bebop too, because let me tell you something. Music in that show,
J Squad,
ahead of its time. That shit is too crazy, man.
Well, listen, y'all. If I can. I want to give Nerds in Hip Hop an opportunity to go ahead on give all their Instagram handles and where they can be followed and supported. Because let me tell you something, this brother right here is literally bringing the communities together, and he's single-handedly helping to build an economic infrastructure for a lot of content creators through his business, GJApparelStore.com. And y'all can find Head Nerds in Charge merch on that website. Y'all already know on our regular show, we support and tell y'all, use our promo code. Listen, I'm just saying, we got merch out there. Y'all need to be go ahead on bite on that.
Give me that link again.
That's GJApparelStore.com. I'll drop the link in the chat. Go ahead on, brother. Let them know where they can find you at.
Oh, definitely, man. You know, first and foremost, I am like honored to be a part of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Nerds with a Z in hip hop. Put that together, bro. If you put that anywhere, you're gonna see a lot of stuff for us to come up with social media handles. But for the most part, go ahead on Instagram, Nerds in Hip Hop. You go to the link in our bio. You can go to nerdsinhiphop.com, and you can also access GJ Apparel Store from nerdsinhiphop.com. Just click the shop now button or whatever like that, and it'll take you straight to our Nerds in Hip Hop stuff, but also the GJ Apparel stuff. So, like I said, Nerds in Hip Hop, put that in anywhere. You're going to be able to catch us on something, Twitter, whatever you want. We're there.
Salute to you, good brother. Listen, y'all, this is King Kurt Live, Head Nerds in Charge. Y'all already know every Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. ish, because we be running late. But we here to show that love, to support not only POC content creators, but POC artists. And one of the dope things was this brainchild to bring together not only the nerd culture, but hip hop, because it's been happening for eons, but to have an opportunity to bring in this collective of minds and artists and to be able to showcase such great talent you might not have been aware of, but trust me, it exists. This ain't going to be the last time we do this. This ain't going to be the last time you see these faces. These are your future stars if you support them. And I can't emphasize that enough. These are your future stars if you put the gasoline to them. So you should be sharing, resharing, linking, streaming. If you got a problem with all these artists out here, if you got a problem with Tekashi, if you got a problem with Doja, if you feel away, there's alternative music out there that you need to be supporting. So Head Nerds in Charge, y'all already know. Thank y'all for supporting us. Thank y'all for sticking around and tuning in. For everybody that called in, kept the chat popping, because I think we got well over 100 comments up in there. And I usually, I'm good with responding to everybody in chat, but everybody was saying so much good stuff. It was too much content for 2 hours, baby. We could have went a whole nother hour. But that means you better check your behind back for the next Nerdcore Hip Hop Summit. It ain't going to be too far off. Everybody, much love, and we out here.
Gentlemen,
salute.
Sir, man. Appreciate you guys.